He thought she was clumsy and beneath him, until her words shattered his ego in front of the whole room. The restaurant was buzzing with soft jazz, laughter, and the clinking of glasses. It was a high-end place, the kind where waiters wore bow ties and nobody asked about prices. Rachel moved quickly between tables, balancing a tray of drinks with the calm she'd practiced for years. She didn't belong to this world of polished silver and fake smiles, but she needed the money. Rent was due. Her mom's meds weren't cheap. Then Table 6 waved her over. 3 men in suits, one of them older, sharper, with the kind of cold stare that could silence a room. Lawrence Voss. Everyone in the city knew his name. Billionaire, ruthless investor, the kind of man who ordered people around like chess pieces. Rachel walked over carefully. As she leaned to set a glass down, someone bumped her from behind. The glass slipped. Ice water splashed across Voss's custom-tailored suit. Gasps filled the air. He stood up slowly. "Are you blind or just incompetent?" His voice cut like a knife. Rachel froze. She tried to apologize, but he raised a hand. "People like you always make excuses." That's when something in her snapped. She straightened up, shoulders trembling, not from fear, but from something deeper. Her voice was steady, quiet, but sharp enough to cut through the tension in the air. "You mean people like me who work double shifts just to survive? Who serve people like you and still get talked down to like dirt?" The room went silent. Voss raised an eyebrow, amused. "You think this is about survival? You think I got where I am by making excuses?" Rachel didn't flinch. "Number, you got where you are by stepping on people who couldn't fight back. But let me tell you something, Mr. Voss. The world doesn't need more men like you. It needs people who remember what it feels like to struggle." A few of the nearby tables went still, watching. She took a breath. "You wear a $1,000 suit, but you don't know what integrity looks like. I spilled a drink. That's a mistake. But talking down to someone doing their job? That's character. And yours just showed." Voss stared at her, stunned. For once, the man known for always having a comeback said nothing. The manager rushed over, panicking. "Rachel, go to the back, now." But Voss held up a hand. "No," he said slowly. "Let her speak." His voice had changed. The arrogance was still there. But now, curiosity flickered behind it. Rachel stood her ground, heart racing. She hadn't planned to say any of it, but now that it was out, there was no going back. Voss looked her over again, this time not as someone beneath him, but as something he couldn't quite label. "What's your name?" "Rachel Thomas," she said flatly. He nodded slowly. "You've got guts, Rachel." "I've got rent," she replied. "Guts are just what keep me from breaking." A small chuckle escaped from a man at a nearby table. Then another guest nodded. Even a few waiters froze behind their trays, eyes locked on her. Something had shifted, not just in the room, but in the way they looked at her. No longer invisible. Voss slowly sat back down, the wet fabric of his suit clinging to his back. "You know, when I was 20, I scrubbed dishes. I worked in a kitchen smaller than this table, but I never spoke to my boss that way." Rachel's tone softened, but her message stayed firm. "Then maybe you forgot how it felt to be at the bottom." Voss leaned back in his chair, thoughtful now. The manager came over again, this time unsure of what to do. Voss raised a finger. "She's not fired." Rachel's eyebrows lifted in surprise. "In fact," he added, "I want her assigned to all my bookings from now on." Rachel looked him in the eye. "I'm not here to be anyone's personal waitress." "Then what are you here for?" he asked, genuinely now. "To finish my MBA," she said, "and start a consulting firm that doesn't treat people like trash." He laughed, not mockingly this time, but like someone caught off guard. "I look forward to you beating me at my own game, Rachel Thomas." She didn't smile, but she nodded and walked away without saying another word. The next morning, Rachel was sure she'd be fired. She even rehearsed what she'd say while standing outside the restaurant's staff door, clutching her apron. But when she walked in, the manager didn't say a word, just gave her a nervous nod and stepped aside. On the front desk sat a sleek envelope. Her name was written across it in bold strokes. Inside was a handwritten note. "You were right. I did forget what it felt like to be down there. Thank you for reminding me, not with anger, but with truth. If your words were part of a pitch deck, I'd invest. Voss." Underneath was a card. Voss Capital, direct line. And below that, a post-it with just 5 words. "Call me when you're ready." Rachel stared at it, stunned. Her hands shook a little, not from fear, but from the weight of being seen. Later that week, she didn't show up for her shift. Instead, she walked into a coffee meeting with a small binder of business ideas in her bag and her head held high. Voss listened. He didn't interrupt, and when she finished, he said 6 words that would change her life. "Let's build this together, 50-50. Rachel blinked. "You're serious?" He nodded. "Anyone who can put me in my place like that, I'd be stupid not to." She didn't smile right away, just let the moment settle. Then she extended her hand. "Okay, but I'm never getting you water again." They both laughed. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can spill isn't water. It's the truth. If this story inspired you, share it. Someone out there needs to be reminded of their worth.